Welcome, everyone. Thanks so much for joining us today. It's an exciting time for soccer in our country, and excited to get together with you all to share what we've been working on since our last board meeting. Next slide. I did that one. All right, I'll call the meeting to order. Are you guys done with the roll call?
Yep, Cindy, you have a quorum.
Thank you. All right. Conflict of interest disclosure. Does anyone have a conflict that you need to disclose for today's meeting? All right, hearing none, we'll move on. You all have received the minutes. I need a motion for approval of the minutes. John Mata, where are you?
So moved. Go ahead.
I need a second.
Second.
Anyone opposed? All right, the minutes are approved. Thank you. All right, President's remarks. So today in open session, we'll focus on two big areas. Since September, our external relations team has been ramping up our engagement with our membership. We've been listening to your feedback on how we can work together on implementing our strategic plan and the accelerated initiatives, and sharing best practices back as well. And then second, JT and our leadership team will share a bit more about the progress on the strategic plan and the accelerated initiatives. Before we jump in, I wanted to acknowledge the recent passing of former U.S. Soccer Board member Bill Boscroft. Our thoughts are with his family. First, as we get into the member highlights, I wanted to really speak to our collective focus on growing the number of referees and creating a positive experience for those referees. So in Arkansas State Association used their Innovate to Go grant to launch a successful referee respect campaign and aimed at recognizing and rewarding people who embody their campaign motto: respect the referees, respect your opponent, respect the game, with a respect coin. Next, North Texas, the FORCE program stands for Female Officials for Recruiting, Coaching, and Empowerment, was created for female referees by female referees to develop mentorship, providing opportunities to work together, and creating a platform to be heard. The new program launched in October and already has 37 referees and provides monthly trainings to all. South Texas, Revision FC is a soccer program that aims to end juvenile justice involvement and homelessness among young people in Houston, Texas. The program provides youth with mentors, life-changing resources, and a sense of community. Currently, 43 former Revision FC players have graduated from high school and are either starting or returning to college on soccer scholarships. New Jersey Youth Soccer. This summer, New Jersey Youth Soccer partnered with Women and Girls in Soccer as part of their Growing the Girls Game initiative. This program featured all female coaching and referee courses. And to close out this slide, the U.S. Amputee Cup. For the first time ever, and in partnership with MLS, the American Amputee Soccer Association hosted the U.S. Amputee Soccer Cup in Columbus, Ohio at the end of October. This was the largest gathering of amputee soccer players ever in the United States, and the New England Revolution took home the gold. So these are just a few examples. I'd like to open it up to our board members to share their highlights from 2023. And I'll go to you, Michael Karen, first to kick it off.
Thanks, Cindy. So now that sort of the COVID effects have sort of faded into the background, what AYSO has been spending their time on is figuring out how to actually deliver programming to places where it doesn't exist, and to do that in a way that actually involves the broader community, including some of our state association partners. And you know, we're early into this, about a year into it, but so far it looks like we'll add about 10 to 12,000 players that haven't ever played soccer before in communities that haven't had any programming. So we're excited about that.
Fantastic. Anyone else want to share programs that they have going on?
Yeah, Cindy, I'll share the picture on the screen here from the NPL finals. Dick's Sporting Good Park was a wonderful host for us for this summer event. This year, along the themes of referees, we hosted referee education development. We hosted a U.S. soccer referee coaching course. We think that the development, it's something that we are serious about getting into and trying to partner. We partnered with Colorado on this. We're working with other state associations. We have great respect for what AYSO, Say Soccer, USYS are doing in this space, and we hope to be a good partner moving forward.
Great, thanks, Mike.
Hi, Cindy. I can go next if you'd like.
Please.
So I'll share something that we're doing currently. We've been working for several months to try and develop partnerships and collaboration with some of our extended national team groups and the Athletes Council. And one of those that is very active right now is our involvement in partnership with beach soccer. And we're actually working, we're developing some pilot programs in some of our states, Connecticut, Eastern Pennsylvania, North Texas, Cal North, and Virginia. And the hope is to kind of promote education about beach soccer, get some exposure to the kids. We're actually working on providing some garments that are labeled U.S. beach soccer for the participants. And then we're looking forward to, at our workshops in Anaheim at the U.S. Soccer Coaches Convention, to provide further education and possibly some exhibitions there. So that's one of our current things. Thank you.
That's great. Thanks, Pete.
Yeah, this is John Motter. I'll go next. And I just want to let everyone know that during 2024, USASA will be celebrating the 100th anniversary of the United States National Amateur Cup, which is the oldest and longest running tournament for amateur soccer in the United States. It began in 1923, but they never kicked off a final. So the first finalist was in 1924. And next year, we will be hosting the 100th anniversary in the Chicago area. We will make an announcement on Monday on the venue. But we are very excited to host this event, which was an event that was actually started by U.S. Soccer in 1923 when they had too many teams entering the U.S. Open Cup. So they started an amateur cup so that there'll be more opportunities for amateur teams to compete. So stay tuned for a lot of information on our 100th anniversary, which will be next year, held in Chicago. And we've been working hand in hand with U.S. Soccer to help us promote and make this a very exciting event. So I welcome everyone to Chicago next year to join us for the 100th anniversary.
Thanks, John. That's great.
Cindy, I'll take. Oh, go ahead. Somebody else?
Go ahead, Don.
I got time. No, who else was popping in? I'm patient.
That's okay. You're the one that popped up on my screen, so.
Obviously a very busy time for our league. Our championship game, as everybody knows, hopefully everybody knows, will be in Columbus this weekend, and a culmination of a year that started with just lots of momentum coming out of the World Cup last December. We are so proud of our ownership group and everybody that works in and around St. Louis and St. Louis City. As you all know, that is our first all-female ownership group, and Carolyn Kindle Betts has done a remarkable job leading the building of a downtown stadium and a training facility and an ecosystem in and around, this terrific soccer city, performed so well on and off the field. And obviously we are proud of having the first in-season professional sports league tournament, even though there's lots of buzz about in-season tournaments in other leagues. But our summer break against Liga MX was something we're really excited about, and went deep into new communities, which is a big part of what we're all really trying to do. I think the real story for us, and it's going on now in Arizona, is the investment that we're all making in MLS Next, in our academy programs, in our investment in trying to ensure that our academy programs, its players and its staff are deeply connected to the diversity that we're also focused on, both within our player pool, but very importantly, within our coaching and sporting folks. And you'll see laboratories of programming coming out of our youth efforts leading up to our second team. Columbus won the MLS Next Pro Championship this past year, and one of the great stories of MLS Cup is the success that some of their development players that came up through the academy. Aiden is a good example of that, and played up through MLS Next Pro and now playing for the first team. So it speaks to the pyramid and the investment in the pyramid that all of us are so focused about. And I do think our best is yet to come through that investment and strategic commitment.
Thanks, Don. That's great. I couldn't tell who else was trying to speak.
Cindy, it's Richard Groff. As you know, I represent the Adult Council on the U.S. Soccer Board. During the governance task board, it was recommended that the Adult Council expand its membership, and the National Council changed the bylaws, and we're excited to say that this year the Adult Council has USASA as a member with over 200,000 players, USSSA with over 20,000 players, and the UPSL has over 20,000 players. So we have 3 members now, and we're excited about this growth. For amateur elite soccer teams, the Lamar Hunt Open Cup is critically important. And this year we had 323 elite amateur teams enter the Lamar Hunt Open Cup, pay the $200 fee and the $300 referee fee. And next spring, 32 of these teams will have qualified to play against the professional teams. It's an incredible event, and we're so happy to be part of it with the Professional Council. And finally, the Adult Council is looking forward to being a partner in the development of a Women's Open Cup. We think this is critically important for the over 400 elite amateur women's teams that are members of the Adult Council.
Great. Thanks, Richard.
I'll round us out, Cindy. And Richard, congratulations on that growth. Congratulations to USASA getting back above 200,000. That's really nice to see, coming multiple years out of the pandemic now. So that's great. The Athlete Council, we've been holding our bi-monthly meetings. Sometimes I think people wonder how often we meet. We do meet bi-monthly, and we've been supporting USSF in a variety of ways, such as their fundraising endeavors, trying to be a part of that, trying to be as helpful as we can. I also want to highlight that just this past month or 2 months, we sent our men's and women's deaf national teams off to competitions, not just any competition, they're World Cups, with our deaf women's team being champions and our men's team having a very strong showing. We sent our CP men's team off to the Pan American Games in Chile, which they won a bronze medal. Our power team, which is a men's and women's combined team, got third at their World Cup. And then it was also great to see us sending some of our youth teams to the Pan American Games. So we were, of course, supportive and cheering them on, and I'm sure that may come up later in the presentation. It was widely publicized that we sent a letter to Congress, which gained a little bit of traction regarding athlete safety, an area that's so critical to all of us. We are continuing to have ongoing conversations with Safe Sport, with the support of Mana and her team at US Soccer, surrounding trying to make the sport a safer place for all of our participants. And lastly, I have 2 more points. I apologize. I just want to thank Dr. Pete. He highlighted it very well, but Dr. Pete, it's really nice to see some of my members collaborating with your members, especially in an area like beach, which is one of the lesser served sort of areas. And then lastly, we're trying to get it to our youth members. We're trying to get a program off the ground in partnership with Positive Coaching Alliance to have an athlete council member possibly zoom in with some of your members being your actual athletes this time, though, with a focus maybe being on leadership. So candidly, it is not meant to leave the adult council out of it, but it is kind of geared more towards those youth players and hearing from a national team athlete with the focus being on their story and their journey and touching on leadership. So if any of you are interested in conveying that to your members, we are still looking to get it off the ground and have hit a little bit of friction in trying to connect with certain membership groups. So I open that up to all of you, and we would love to partner with you in that way. And then lastly, I just want to go back to those national teams I mentioned. And I think as an organization, we should be really proud. I can't think of a time in my long, whether it was playing and or serving on this board, a time when we had such a diverse group of national teams representing us out on the fields at one time. I don't think there's been a moment in our history that we've ever been doing more in terms of our national teams and including those marginalized populations that compete globally and pull on the crest, just as our men's and women's senior teams do. So I think we have a lot to be proud of as an organization, and I just want to applaud us for that. Thanks, Cindy.
Great. Thanks, everyone. Anyone else want to chime in? Or are we good to move on? All right. All of those highlights were incredible to hear, and I know there's more to look forward to in 2024. So moving on to the strategy update, like I mentioned, and as many of you are aware, back in September, we released our strategic vision with a series of accelerated initiatives. The team has been hard at work and continuing to bring these to life across all areas. And you'll be hearing more from JT and the team today on that. I also want to shout out and follow up on Chris. He kind of stole my thunder. Women's Deaf team, Power team, and then CP team have all represented us very well in international competition. We're also in the midst of our first of its kind Adapt and Thrive leadership course down in Georgia. So if you want to learn more about that, if you don't know about it, we'll connect afterwards, but very cool event. And this past Sunday was the Global International Day of Persons with Disabilities. And this December is the 4th annual U.S. Disability Soccer Month. To honor the day and to support our ENTs, we have some pretty cool gear on the U.S. Soccer Store. So if you want some ENT gear, please go to that U.S. Soccer Store and buy some gear to support our ENTs.
Makes great holiday gifts.
It does. I have 6 t-shirts already from our ENTs. So see if you can beat me in that. And I can't leave talking about the sporting side without mentioning how excited we are to have Emma Hayes as our next women's national team head coach. I think she's not only going to be an incredible leader for our women's national team, but will be an incredible leader for us here at US Soccer. As we're excited to bring the National Training Center to the Metro Atlanta area, as you all know, and I'm excited to work with all of you to make this dream come true, to finally have a home for US Soccer for all of our national teams, our members, our referees, coaches. So more to come on that. So with that, I'll turn it over to you, JT.
Thank you very much, Cindy. We're excited to provide updates across all the accelerated initiatives that we shared in September. So, if we transition to the next slide here. A key part of the announcement of our vision and our accelerated initiative was also starting a new phase of engagement with the soccer ecosystem. And, we're really proud of the work that's been done, but even prouder of the engagement that has happened since then. And since that point, we've invested a ton in our relationships. We've been listening, we've been learning, and we're excited about working together to bring all this to life. If we go to the next slide. So as you can see there from the photograph of John Mata listening and engaging so intently that
John, I think you have the same shirt on there as you do today.
We've been focused on listening, we've been focused on learning, and we're excited about the dividends that's starting to pay. And as you can see there, something that I'm proud of, and I know the team's very proud of, is coming out of the member meetings, we did a survey. We had 96 different organizations represented at those meetings, and 95% gave a recommendation that they would want to come back next year, as well as recommend others coming. And so this is, putting the foundation in place for how we want to engage more broadly as we look to go continue to accomplish big things together. Go to the next slide, please. So at this point, I want to turn it over to Dave, who will highlight some of the exciting things we've got going on in the commercial collaboration across the ecosystem.
Thanks, JT. Good morning, everyone. We are very fortunate to have a growing roster of industry-leading blue chip partners. In fact, FY24 is shaping up to be our most successful year of all time, with a handful of high-profile partnerships to be announced in the coming months. But beyond the financial investment, I think this is really important. We are equally as proud of how our partners are truly leaning into growing the game at all levels. And so to provide a little bit more detail, I wanted to pass it to Josie Madden to highlight a handful of real-time examples. Josie?
Yeah, thanks so much, Dave. And hi, everybody. Excited to be here today and share a few of these examples with you. I'm responsible and on our partnership marketing team here at US Soccer, so responsible for bringing many of these major partnerships to life. First one we'll jump in and talk about is our Nike and Volkswagen Grow the Game clinics. So these were executed throughout the duration of 2023, where we at US Soccer came together with both of these partners and facilitated a number of clinics in underserved communities, introducing nearly 800 plus kids to such the beautiful game across 7 cities. One thing to highlight here is in October, we actually came together in Hartford to host a clinic where Volkswagen CEO Pablo Desi and USMNT legend Landon Donovan attended and actually went out on the pitch with the kids, played, and shared their stories of how soccer impacted their lives. So moving forward in the future, we're in the process of determining how we can continue to build on this program, scale it, and ultimately drive opportunity for other partners to be involved as well. Next, we have our All-State Place to Play mural. So this past fall, we worked with All-State to facilitate a community event alongside Black Star Soccer at International Sports in Chicago, which included a mural donation to serve under-resourced youth, essentially by creating this place to play and giving them the opportunity to just play where all you need is a ball. So the unveil event included some of our WNT players along with a 1-hour clinic for them to engage with the kids and really focused on helping us at US Soccer protect the future of the game, which is a really great example of that. And then lastly, we have our AT&T Cultural Connections campaign. So in celebration of Hispanic Heritage Month this fall, and really just to tell the story of the intersection that exists between soccer and culture, AT&T partnered with rising USMNT star Ricardo Pepi and a Latino graphic designer to create this unique piece of art that represented Pepe's heritage, his dual heritage, and then his journey from El Paso, Texas, eventually to the national team. So we brought this piece of art together in so many ways, into life in so many ways across the match, digitally through a content series. And we also sold the shirt on ussoccer.com with a portion of those proceeds going toward purchasing technology for Ricardo's elementary school in San Elizario, Texas, to help bridge the digital divide, which is an important part for AT&T's partnership. So overall, really, again, excited to share these opportunities with you guys that we had the chance to bring to life with our partners. Really just tells the stories how this transcendent power of soccer and how we really can collectively work together to make an impact, embodying what a purpose-driven partnership really is.
Great. Good morning, everyone. I'm going to share a quick update on the Safe Soccer Clearance Program. Happy to announce that we are making good progress on the development of this program. And before we kind of dive into kind of next steps on the pilots, I wanted to just level set on our ambition for this program is to really to be able to impact millions of participants, whether that be coaches, referees, players, parents, and more. In order to do this, we have launched pilot programs, which are now live as of November. Our plan will be to run approximately 15 pilot groups through February of 2024. And throughout this process, continue to aggregate feedback, feedback that will help inform continuous improvement on this program and also the long-term planning and implementation so that we can effectively impact the millions, which is our goal. For those interested in participating, if you've not already done so, and thank you to all of those that have already reached out, feel free to reach out directly to me to be a part of the pilot phase. and excited to continue to push forward with this initiative. Shifting gears to the referee growth strategy accelerated initiative. One of the core focus areas that we are looking to move on immediately is how to keep referees safe. To date, we have heard feedback from a large number of stakeholders through various channels that have helped inform not only the identification of the key challenges that you see on this left-hand side, but really those immediate next steps to get to solutioning. I think that picture from John Motto is actually one of the breakout groups that was focused on this topic in particular from the member meetings that happened a few weeks back. This is a critical area that we want to address and we want to move quickly on, or we are going to continue to lose more and more referees. And we as a team are mobilizing to push forward on the solutions to support this right away. On the right-hand side, you can see some of those next steps that we will be focused on. But I want to kind of end by saying that this is going to take all of us to really address mistreatment of referees. And we are going to continue to offer opportunities for interested parties to help contribute over the next 90 days and beyond. So be on the lookout for more information, and thank you.
Hey everybody, I'm Abe Geiger. If we haven't met, it's great to be here. I'm going to give you a quick highlight on the Democratizing Soccer Knowledge initiative, which is well underway and very exciting. So as we've talked about before, the goal of this initiative is to really expand and amplify the message of all the great things happening in the soccer ecosystem and share and generate more knowledge to grow the game in every way. As has been mentioned before, we had some really great meetings with membership in November and got great feedback on the content and the formats and things that are really helping shape this initiative. So thank you all for that. We hope to continue that collaboration with you all. We're focused, as might make sense, currently on three main areas: coaching, refereeing, and soon to be coming parenting. But there are a number more that will be coming after this that really span all areas of the ecosystem, commercial areas, highlighting partnerships, sharing best practices for member organizations, all again based on feedback we got from members. So thank you again. We have recently launched a new set of functionality on the Learning Center. So if you haven't yet seen that, encourage you to go check it out. So we launched that functionality last month with 12 articles for coaching and refereeing. We have 10 more coming that we're partnering with folks in the ecosystem covering parenting. So looking forward to launching many more in the next couple of months. There are three main phases to this. One is aggregating and curating content. So that's what you'll see in the near term. Building community and collaboration. I like to refer to this as a potluck. We are not going to, nor can we, nor should we, be the sole authors of content and knowledge that's being shared. We really need this to be a collaborative effort with all of you, with the membership, with everybody in the ecosystem. So I've already emailed Chris about a comment he made earlier, initiative that he's working on. I'd love to get feedback from you all any way that we can help amplify the great things that you're doing. That all falls squarely in this initiative. So looking forward to a lot more. We're doing a lot of work and analysis on audiences and segmentation, prioritization, making sure that this is doing as much as it possibly can, and looking forward to sharing more details at AGM in February. And with that, I think I'm handing off to Matt.
Great, thanks, Abe. Just wanted to give everybody an update on where we are with our developing winning teams strategic pillar. Obviously, you would have heard me before speak about, obviously at senior level, creating an environment where our national teams are winning and being successful is really important. But also from our youth teams, from a development perspective, what does winning teams mean? So we've defined it in three areas. First of all, the players need to come into one of our 27 national teams and have fun and feel like as if they can play with freedom and they can be themselves in and around the environment and feel a sense of belonging. The second most important thing is they get to learn and understand our style of play, our culture and our environment. And the third thing is that they win, but it's never at the expense of number 1 and 2. So, that's really important. From number two, obviously, we want to create 27 connected, equally important national teams, and you would have heard both Christopher and Cindy talk very much about the success of our extended national teams. In particular, the one thing that stood out for me, which is a bit bittersweet, is the 10-1 victory over England for our women's deaf team in that championship. Obviously, from some of the other successful teams at youth level. So just wanted to touch on the success of our under-19s women's team, who achieved bronze medal at the Pan American Games in a women's environment. So a lot of the other teams that they played were the senior teams of those other countries. Successful in that bronze medal game against Argentina. And those are the type of experiences and games that will prepare the players for future success at our senior team level. So we were delighted that they got those experiences and those successes. And then lastly, but not least, just wanted to give everybody an update on where we are with our senior teams. So you again heard Cindy talk about Emma's hire. So Emma now be coming into our environment pretty soon in the build up to the summer events, which we're really excited about. It was great that she had an opportunity to come into camp recently. The continued success of our senior women's team in terms of results and those development of performances with those young hungry players that are coming into that environment is really, really exciting going forward. And then finally, last but not least, the men's senior team, the draw today for the Nations League finals, the draw today for the Copper draw tonight, which we're really excited about, which is going to be a great event in the summer that we're really excited to give the players the experience of in preparation for that strategic plan and lead into 2026. And then obviously also success in that Nations League where we've qualified for the finals, which will take place in March. But I also specifically wanted to give a big shout out to Twyla, who has done a fantastic job as interim coach of the women's senior team and continue to do so in that transition period. And then we'll transition into being one of Emma's coaches within that coaching staff. Thanks very much.
Thank you, Matt. One thing I know we are all looking forward to is the 2026 World Cup. And so we are deep into planning for the tournament here. We're focused on finding ways to ensure that the entire ecosystem can participate. And more importantly, we're focused on making sure that we are set up to capture what will be record-breaking fan and participant interest in soccer that the World Cup will generate. So our belief is the World Cup is going to propel soccer forward in this country for the next generation. And what we plan to do about that is launch a multi-year legacy campaign starting in 2024 to maximize impact. As we do that, it's critical that we plan and engage with our ecosystem to make sure that we are getting your input. And we have been hosting a number of meetings with members and other soccer stakeholders on this topic. So you'll see on the screen, member programs at ussoccer.org, or feel free to reach out to me directly. We'd love to engage you in one of these working sessions, and we plan to share more and engage with you more at the AGM in February. All right, back to you, JT.
Thanks very much, Michael. Before we talk about the National Training Center, I wanted to do a special thanks to our friends at CONCACAF who are hosting us, and why Cindy and I have been promoted to the CONCACAF IT department for today. We are, as Matt mentioned, here for the Copa America draw this evening, and obviously excited about that tournament, and excited about not only what it means from a competition standpoint for our men's national team, but what it'll mean for general excitement and momentum and growth of the sport in our country. And so thanks to CONCACAF. And as we sort of transition to talk about our future home, wanted to share some of the highlights around what this will ultimately be for us. So this is a facility that will be more than 200 acres. We'll have double-digit number of fields in all forms of the game, so grass, turf, sand, power, and futsal courts. It'll be a place for us all to come together. So classroom space, meeting rooms, facilities for players, coaches, referees, and fans. We want this to be the home for everyone in the soccer ecosystem, whether you're someone who has a chance of playing for one of our national teams or refereeing in a World Cup final, or someone who loves it as much as we all do and wants to experience what life is like for our national team players. Couldn't be more excited about the future. And ultimately, as we think about what that future is, we're going to need your help. So as everyone knows, we've never had a home before. And so there are all sorts of different use cases for what this facility could be that we haven't even thought of yet. And since this has been announced publicly in September, the number of different folks who've come up to me and shared how they would want to be able to use the facility that are beyond anything that we would have ever dreamt of. And so very much call on everyone on the Zoom and who's listening at home to really lean in to provide feedback around what you'd like to see at the facility, what you'd like to ultimately have us bring to life as we use this to accelerate the continued growth of our sport and our organization. So reach out to member programs at ussoccer.org. And we're super excited to with the momentum that this project has and with all the progress we've had today. So thank you very much, and we look forward to hearing from you.
All right. Next board meeting is the AGM in Dallas, Texas, February 8th through the 10th.